This is the first of 5 episodes that will bring us through to the end of 2015. With the group expanded to 67 clans, who will be the new force? In this episode, who is the number 1 mid-sized war clan in the world? It's been some time since I've done a ranking update, so a lot's changed in terms of the number of clans and the like. The main thing here is from, just for example, from September through to mid-November, there's 295 wars. So I'm having to split the ranking video up into a couple of episodes. So what we'll do is we'll progressively look at the run home. The first thing we're going to look at is the mid-sized elite war clans, which is a group of 20 clans. The mid-sized war group of elite clans consisted of 24 clans from September through to 13th of November. Just to run through them quickly, because I haven't talked through this group before. So you've got Unity Air Force, Winterfell, MIT, Italy Rev, Holowiwi, that's a new clan to the elite group. Epic Relentless, also another new clan. TR, you've seen before. War Kings is a new clan. Arab Champions, TM. I think that's a new clan as well. Storm UAE 999, Arabian Shield, Syrian Elite, a new clan. Next one, I think it is We Are Khalifa, Van Juan, Viet Are Us, King of Vietnam, Love and Peace, Fang Zhu Bi Zhao, Ku Mu Long Ling, Dao Min, Shen Jing, Wu Meng, and a clan I'm just going to refer to as ABC. So there was 87 wars featuring mid-sized war clans between 28th of August and 13th of November. So let's run them through them quickly. First, TR versus Van Schran. 230 points for Van Schran, 6250 with a really big win there in a 25s war. Next, China Rush Rock versus number 1 and a tie, 66 all, but more points, more percentage to number 1, so number 1 get away with the win, 42 points for them. Next, Exodius Elite versus 300, 65-61, more than 300 points difference, so no points for Exodius Elite there. Next is Da Tang Tian Zi Taiwan versus VR Brothers, and that's one of the new Chinese clans, the full-size war group. They win 69-63 and get 142 points for that win. Next, Syrian Elite, another new clan versus King of Vietnam, and a new clan, 41-40 in a 20s war. So Syrian Elite get 50 points for the first war in the group. Next, Arabian Shield versus Italy Rev, a tie but a percentage win to Italy Rev, 44 points for them. Saigon by Night versus Epic Relentless. Saigon by Night here warring only 30s, 67-63, a win for them. No points to them because they're much further up the table. Next, Arabian Shield versus Arab Champs. So an all Arab war, and Arabian Shield hit Arab Champs there, 65-64, 73 points for Arabian Shield there. Next, Peninsula Shield versus Suicide Squads, and you can see Pen Shield, you expect them to win that in a 30s war, 14 3 stars to 1 there, so a really solid win for Pen Shield. Next, Saigon by Night versus Dao Min. Saigon by Night, 33 points for that win there, 73-68 in a 30s war, so you can see 13 3 stars versus 8 3 stars in a 30s war. That's pretty decent hitting. Next, 300 versus MIT in a 30s war. 300 put on 4 3 stars, but MIT put on 11, so a good solid win for them there, 25 points to MIT. Next, Shouhu Yu Rong Yao, which means Defend and Honor, versus Italy Rev, A really solid win for them versus one of the top Italian clans there, 67 to 62 in a 30s war. Next, Love and Peace versus Saigon by Night. Saigon by Night, you'd expect a solid win there. No points for Saigon by Night with a 76-67 win in a 30s war. Next, Shenjing versus Epic Relentless. A tie, but a percentage win to Shenjing. So 21 points for Shenjing with a 64-64 percentage win in a 30s war. Next, Imaginatic versus Epic Relentless. Imaginatic, they're 65-66. They went down to Epic Relentless. 162 points for Epic Relentless there. So great win for them. A bit of an upset in a 30s war. Next, Unity Air Force versus Arabian Shield. Look at this for a war. 30s, so 9 3-stars to 3. But look at that, 209 points to Unity Air Force for that win over that strong Arabian clan. Next, Shenjing versus TR, and Shenjing pipped TR in a 25s war, 53 to 51, 162 points for them. Next, We All Caliphate. So this is another one of the new clans, an Arabic clan versus Van Xuan, and the Van Xuan win that with a 63-55 win in a 25s war, and that's 42 points for them. Next, you've got Datang Tianzi Taiyuan versus Fangzhou Bizhao, and that's a bit of a surprise for me, but very good win for them. 63 to 57. So that's 13 3-stars in a 25s war. That's pretty good hitting for them. So they're obviously a dangerous clan in the mid-sized group, and 39 points for them. Next, MKMA. Now I will touch on MKMA because MKMA was still warring here, but they had a bit of a split off, but they were warring pretty well, so I left them in the group for this period, and you'll see a couple of MKMA wars. I know they're pretty much retired from wars now, but there is MKMA versus fighting Unity Air Force. Really strong mid-sized war, that one. And you can see in a 30s war, 13 3-stars to 7, and a win for MKMA, but with MKMA being so far up the table, no points for them. Next, the next one is Shanghai KOC's Zibao Zan, I think that is, versus Sanju Tao. And so that's a 68-67 win to Sanju Tao. No points for them, being much further up the table. Next, Arabian Shield versus TR, and Arabian Shield pipped TR there in a 25s war, 54-53, and get 101 points for that win. Next, Shenjing versus Viet RS. Shenjing winning that again just by a little bit, 54-53, and will walk away with 62 points. Now, Ways of War versus Van Xuan, and this shows the Ways of War are a good clan. So this is a 25s war. So look at that. That is 17 3-stars to 16 3-stars. Look at that. That's brutal. So 5 points to Van Xuan for that win. But that is just a really strong war for a mid-sized war. Look at that. 17 3-stars from 25. Next, Fangzhou Bizhao versus War Kings in a 30s war. Just a 2-1 win for them, and they'll get 55 points for that. Next, TR versus MIT. TR 44-41 in a 20s war, and pick up 392 points because that's a war which is lower down the table, obviously, for that the K factor to be larger. Next, Love and Peace versus Dalmin. So Love and Peace pull off a big upset there, 259 points with a 1 3-star win in a 30s war. So 6-5 on 3s, and a great win for them to see them charge up the table. Next, Yazhu Ling Cheng versus War Kings. So that's 70-63. So really solid win there. But obviously much further up the table, so no points for them. Next, Fangzhou Bizhao versus Storm UAE. A surprising result for me. Like Storm UAE, look at that, they can produce some huge results, and sometimes some quiet results is one of the quiet ones. So just a 4-2 war there on 3 stars in a 30s war, and that will see 124 points transferred to Fangzhou Bizhao. Next, Love and Peace versus Unity Air Force, and Love and Peace, bit of an upset there, 65 points for them. So 73 versus 69 in a 30s war. So that's 13 3-stars to 9, so really solid hitting both sides, and Love and Peace get away with the points. Next, Italy Rev versus Y&Y. So Y&Y back here. And Italy Rev get away with a 67-63 win. Be interesting to see how Y&Y go, because they're obviously reforming as a war clan. Whether they'll be as serious and formidable as before, but it's great to see them back in the group. They've got a huge history, and it's lovely to see them back warring. It's a lot of points for Italy Rev there. That probably reflects the fact that Y&Y will come in on their old point score, but they will probably just normalise to a newer clan pretty quickly, because the point system adjusts very quickly. Next, Ways of War versus Imaginatic. You'd expect them to win that. 70-65 in a 30s war, so 10 3-stars to 5. No points change hands there. Next, Gulf Legion versus War Kings. So Gulf Legion go down to War Kings there. War Kings get 364 points for that win. Next, Italy Rev versus Yaju Li Cheng with a 71-70 win in a 30s war. So that's 11 3-stars to 10. A lot of 3-stars there. really hard fought war. 27 points to Yaju Li Cheng. Next, Unity Air Force versus Epic Relentless. Unity Air Force get 56 points for that win, with a 5 3-stars to 2 in a 30s war. Next, Shen Jing versus King of Vietnam. So I think it's the first war I'm showing, second war I'm showing King of Vietnam. 56-55 in a 25s war, so 6 3-stars to 5. No points change hands as Shen Jing much further up the table than King of Vietnam. Next, Utopia OP versus Epic Relentless. Utopia OP doing a smaller war here. 30s war, 70-63, so that's 10 3-stars to 3. 91 points change hands to Utopia OP. Next, Van Xuan versus Kumu Longning. No points change hands there. You'd expect that. It's a 25s war, so 11 3-stars to 6. Next, Dao Min versus China Zi Zhao. So that's 65-61 in a 30s war. So that's, what's that? 5 3-stars to 1. Next, Unity Air Force versus VN Champions. Now this saw Unity Air Force gain a lot of points here. Huge upset. Obviously took them by surprise. I don't know if they put on a lot of 3s late. Must have. So you can see in a 30s war, 8 3-stars to 7. So VN Champions obviously weren't expecting that surge there. Unity Air Force get the points, 102 points to Unity Air Force. Next, Viet Blood versus Epic Relentless. Viet Blood with 7 zip on the 3-stars. Viet Blood get 35 points there, obviously being much higher up the table. Next, Italy Rev versus 300. Italy Rev just 32 points for that win, 66-64. Italy Rev obviously much higher up the table. Next, Van Xuan versus Suicide Squads, 63-50 in a 25s war, so that's 13 zip on 3-stars. And 34 points for that, obviously much higher up the table. Now, Love and Peace versus Senjing. Love and Peace, another good win. They put a fair few wins on here. So that's a 30s war, 12 3-stars for them versus 8. So they're obviously hitting really well. Love and Peace, a new clan, and obviously they're going to debut fairly high up the table. Next, Syrian Elite versus Hollow Wee Wee. Hollow Wee Wee are a good clan. And I think they've got less than 3 elite wars this period, but I expect them to figure pretty well in the mid-sized war tables. And so that's a 25s war. They put on 13 3-stars of 25. So they're a very, very good clan. They beat Syrian Elite 13-5, and they'll get 211 points for their opening salvo in elite wars. Next, MKMA versus Kumu Longling. MKMA win again, miles further up the table, no points change hands. Advidade BR versus King of Vietnam. They go down there to King of Vietnam. Obviously King of Vietnam much higher up the table, so no points change hands. Next, Gulf Legion versus Exodius Elite. Gulf Legion have a percentage win there, so they will gain 87 points for that win. Now, Yaju Ling Cheng versus Arabian Shield, 71-63 win in a 30s war, so it's 11 3-stars to 3. No points for them, being much further up the table. Next, MKMA versus Van Xuan. MKMA here, you can see in a 25s war, put on 11 3-stars, but Van Xuan put on 19 3-stars. So you can see they knocked off MKMA there. MKMA probably a clan in sort of semi-retirement there, but still just, actually they can't be in semi-retirement, that's 19, looking at that 11 3 stars to 19, that's just a great win to Van Schwan. Sure, MKMA at full strength could probably put on, almost probably do 25, but it's still just a credible win for Van Schwan there. They're a very, very, very good mid-sized war clan. Congratulations to them with that win over MKMA, 80 points to them. Next, Arabian Shield versus with a percentage win over Arab Champions, 68 all, percentage win to Arabian Shield, and that will see them gain 31 points. Next, Unity Air Force versus 300. You expect that win in a 30s war, 10 3 stars to Zip, no points change hands. Now, Viet Blood versus China Rush Rock. Wow, what a war that is. In a 30s war, so 13 3 stars all, a percentage win to Viet Blood, and Viet Blood get 40 points for that win. Next, MKMA versus Dao Men. A tie there in a 30s war, 11 3 stars all. MKMA don't lose any points for that, but don't get any because they're well further up the table. Next, Dao Men versus Bangzhou Bixiao. Dao Men get 123 points for that win, 67 66 in a 30s war. Now, you have Italy Rev versus War Kings in a 25s war, 7-1. Really solid win for them, much further up the table. You'd expect them to win that, so 7-1 and no points change hands. Now, 300 versus China Zhijiao in a 30s war. China Zhijiao didn't actually clear the bases there, and 300 have put on 11 3 stars, so great work for them. And that sees China 300 gain 322 points. Obviously the K factor is large, so you get big swings down the lower end of the table, but that will see 300 gain significant rank in the table. Next, We All Califar versus Exodius Elite, and We All Califar pull off what is a big upset at the time. So in a 30s war, they put on 11 3 stars to 5, so 272 points for the Arabic clan We All Califar, pulling them off like Exodius Elite, and that'll see Exodius Elite slide down the table. Next, Van Schwan versus VN Champions. Van Schwan, very good clan, but VN Champions, very, very, very good clan. So VN Champions not taken by surprise there in a 30s war, 19 3 stars to 17. Incredible performance from Van Schwan, isn't it? VN Champions get 40 points for that win. Next, Wu Meng versus Viet Arras. Wu Meng scrape home with an 8-7 win on 3 stars, 31 points for Wu Meng. Now, Dao Men versus 300. Dao Men 119 points versus 300 there with a 5-1 win versus 300. Now, Wu Meng versus War Kings. Wu Meng in a 30s war, 12 3 stars to 3. Wu Meng pick up 32 points. Now, Fangzhou Bizhao versus Winterfell. So I haven't seen Winterfell much in these mid-sized wars, but they are around. That's a 30s war, so that's 8 3 stars to 3, and that will see 209 points to Fangzhou Bizhao. Now, Unity Air Force versus Dao Men, 35 points for that 11-5 3-star win over Dao Men. Now, Shenzhen versus Peninsula Shield. Peninsula Shield surprisingly just scraped home there in a very, very close war. In the 30s war, 11 3 stars to 10, but Pen Shield hold their place, no points lost for them. Now, Van Schwan versus Winterfell. Van Schwan, you'd expect them to win that in a 25s war, 7 3 stars to 1. Now, Italy Rev versus Epic Relentless. So we're coming up to the end of October here. 68-61 win over Epic Relentless, no points change hands. China Rush Rock versus Imaginatic. We have 43 points change hands for them with a 5. Oh, actually, no, it's a 30s war. So that is a 15 3 stars to 14 3 stars. So a lot of solid hitting there in that 30s war. And that sees China Rush Rock gain 43 points. Now, the Russian clan KY3 versus Viet Arras. Viet Arras win there, gain 141 points for that win, 7 3 stars to 3 in a 30s war. Next, Viet Blood versus Syrian Elite in a 30s war, 12 3 stars to Zip. And so Viet Blood, being much further up the table, get no points for that. Now, MKMA versus Shenzhen. MKMA in a 30s war put on 16 3 stars to 10. So a good solid win for MKMA there. And you can see, even though they were running smaller wars here and have lost some players and still hitting like beasts. They're just a great clan. It'll be sad to see them go in sort of retire from wars, but they've been a great clan and a great number one for much of their time in the rankings. Now, Penshield 2 versus Epic Relentless. Penshield 2 lose a 64 all draw there. Epic Relentless win on percentage. Penshield 2 will lose 282 points to Epic Relentless for that percentage draw. Next, KY3 versus Wumeng. KY3 with a 66-63 win there, 383 points for them, for obviously a win with a higher K factor because it's lower down the table for them, although a bit down the table. The next result, KY3 versus Shenzhen. That's incorrect. I've doubled up on there and got a data entry error. I'm going to correct that through the audio. But I will remove that result and correct that for future rankings. So no points will change hands there, but in the graphics it will show probably KY3 a bit inflated on the table and Shenzhen. I'll correct that through the audio. Next, Viet Blood versus Epic Relentless. 70 points to 64 in a 30s war, so 10 3-stars to 4 and 44 points for Viet Blood. Now, Diamen versus Holy High. Now, Holy High from the sort of full-size war group. Diamen also from the full-size war group, I think. Actually, they're doing mid-size wars. In a 30s war, you've got 18 3-stars to 6. Holy High, I think, he's got a bunch of the old MKMA players, so they're a very, very, very good clan. And you can see putting on 18 3-stars in the 30s war, they're clearly very good. 132 points for them. Now, Actividade BR versus Viet Aras, a percentage win for the Brazilian clan. So they gained 379 points for that win over Viet Aras. Next, Penshield 2 versus Arabian Shield. Penshield 2 with a great win for them. Look at that, in a 30s war, 13 3-stars to 2, and they will pull 238 points for that win. Next, TR versus Exodius Elite. You'd expect Exodius Elite to win that, and that's 10 3-stars to 2 win in a 30s war, 282 points for Exodius Elite. Next, Y&Y versus King of Vietnam. Y&Y win that with 12 3-stars to 5 and no points change hands. Next, Arabian Shield versus Exodius Elite. Exodius Elite win that and get no points for that win, being much further up the table. Now, Penshield 2 versus War Kings. In a 30s war, 4-2 win for them on 3s, no points change hands, being much further up the table. Unity Air Force versus Epic Relentless, 15 points for them with a 70-69 win in the 30s war, so 10 3-stars to 9, really strong war there. And a lot of 3-stars for Epic Relentless, I don't think. So 300 versus War Kings. War Kings with a 317 point gain there for a 4-1 win over 300. Storm UAE versus Syrian Elite, very good win for Syrian Elite there, 292 points for them with that 20s war 6-2 win. Next, Saigon by Light versus Imaginatic. Imaginatic may get a great win there in a percentage win. In a tie in a 30s war, so that's 16 3-stars all. They win on percentage and 87 points to Imaginatic for that win. And the final war of the round to 13th of November, We All Califar versus UAE 999. We All Califar win a 25s war, so that's a lot of 3-stars. In 25s war, 14 3-stars to 12, and that will see 17 points to We All Califar, who are quite a good clan. So as this is a bit of a catch-up vid and we have a lot of vids to go through, I'm going to just jump straight to the table rather than do a countdown this time. So here is the rank 11 to 20 of the mid-sized war clans. And you can see, firstly, 4 clans have not done 3 elite wars yet. So ABC, Holowiwi, Arab Champions and UAE. This is at that 13th of November. So some of these clans are going to come in for the end of year rankings. Now, so we have at number 20, Viet Aras. Number 19, TR. Number 18, Wu Meng. Number 17, Kumu Longling. Number 16, King of Vietnam. Number 15, Arabian Shield. Number 14, Storm UAE. MIT at number 13. Winterfell at number 12. Shenzhen at number 11. Now, for the top half of the rankings tables. At number 10, we have War Kings. Number 19, Epic Relentless. Number 8, Diaomin. Number 7, Fang Shu Bixiao. Number 6, look, a great start for them. Syrian Elite coming into their mid-sized war rankings at number 6. Italy Rev at number 5, so the top Italian clan. We All Caliphate, what a debut for them. Coming in at number 4 in the mid-sized war rankings. Love and Peace, also a debut clan, coming in at number 3 of the mid-sized war clans. Van Xuan coming in at number 2, and the number 1 ranked mid-sized war clan in the world as at 13th of November was Unity Air Force. So congratulations to them. Congratulations on Van Xuan as well. They're a very, very good clan, as well as Unity Air Force. So look, and I think that the top 3 clans there are all pretty dangerous. And congratulations on Unity Air Force on the first of sort of dedicated mid-sized war rankings on being number 1.